She has a ruler, and she was just like, "Oh, Pierre," and I'm like, "Yes, that's me." She's like, "Oh, okay, yes. Can I see your ID?" And I show her my ID. She's like, "Oh, wonderful. You can go take these and go vote." And I'm like, "What?"
It's
God.
so
Get a laptop.
It's so
Get a
primitive.
laptop. What are you doing?
So primitive, dude.
How-
It's dumb.
How long on average does it take them to find someone's name in that book?
Like,
Oh, it doesn't take
it's
too long.
it's all alphabetical, and it's all like, so for example, like, I'm in like an area. I think my area is called like Brindabella. So like, there's like 4 or 5 voting areas within my like location, and those would only, like, my name would only be present on those books or whatever. I think that's how it
Yeah.
works. I'm not 100%, but I think so. So like,
Yeah, because like there was a dude in front of me that he doesn't actually like live in my area, and
he came to vote.
like he got asked. Yeah, he got asked like, "Oh, are you voting for?" Because like we vote for like our council area, and we also vote for the whole state in for this election. It's like, "Oh, do you vote in this area?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm just I live elsewhere." So he had to go to this person that had a laptop. But if you're like local, then yeah, there's
the
like
book. Crack the book out. It's funny how you have to go to the person with the laptop. It's like, bro, give them the laptop, the ones that are sitting there doing the voting anyway. Why?
So stupid. So fucking stupid.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It actually annoys me, like, to the nth degree. Like, it's just such a waste of everyone's day and time.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You know what isn't a waste of everyone's time, though?
What's that?
It's another episode of GGP. What's going on,
Oh,
guys?
shit.
Welcome back to episode 81 of the Good, Great, Perfect podcast. The whole squad is finally here for the penultimate episode of the year. We're here, 81. Flame, Knight, and Todd. Time to chat some Treasure Cruise. There's a lot of juices this past month in OPTC. I was actually surprised when I was writing out the show notes. I thought there'd be a lot more, to write out, but I think everything that we were talking about is just more dense. There's just a lot more things to talk about. So I think we'll just, without further ado, jump right in with everyone's favorite kind of a legend, a Pirate Rumble legend in Legend Orochi.
Oh, man.
Let's
So-
fucking go.
What a joke.
Legend Orochi sucks dick. I'm just gonna be honest with you, straight up, his ass. He's so
Who
bad.
fucking asked for this, man?
Must summon? Question mark.
Hey, if you have not summoned yet, please do so right now. Make sure you spend your money on Legend Orochi. Yeah, look, it like, I don't know. It's such a weird, like, it just does. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. We haven't even started the podcast yet, but like, it was a very weirdly decided legend. I guess it coincides with like Kinemon and Denjiro. I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's like the whole that, but like at the same time, like, Pirate Rumble legends suck, and that is never good. I think I'll just quickly.
This unit synergizes well with like the TM Big Mom and the free to play Kaido that we got. I guess.
Correct, but you're not using this character. So just to quickly run through it, as per usual, as Pirate Rumble legends love to have no super class, no super type, no anything. His captain ability, driven in powerhouse by 4.5, HP 1.75, increases damage received by 1.5. Oh, and is that he receives more damage, or is that that?
Correct.
Okay, that's cringe. Reduces own cooldown by 3 on the start of the next turn after receiving damage. Allows crew to overheal after taking 50,000 damage. Boosts driven and powerhouse carries attack by 5.25. Heals 2,000 HP at the end of the turn. Reduces damage taken by 10% and removes the increased damage received effect. Special, 1 turn of cooldown. So that's Rainbow, 1 turn of cooldown. Deals 100x his attack in non-type damage to all enemies. If the captain is driven or powerhouse, buffs increased damage taken status by 0.3. Boosts driven and powerhouse characters' orbs and color affinity for 1 turn. By how much? Based on how much damage you receive. I should keep reading. Based on how much damage you take. So 2.25 base, 2.5 after 50k. If the crew is above 70% when the special is launched, applies a resilient effect for 2 turns. Support is changes slot boost. So I'm guessing changes character slot to matching. Boost color affinity of driven and powerhouse characters by 1.75 for 1 turn and heals 2,000 HP. That attaches a card on Kanjuro. And this is what he's here for. His Pirate Rumble kit. Cuts 2 enemies HP by 35%. Targets 2 enemies with high special CT for 100% special bind. Targets 4 enemies for speed down and attack down level 6 for 20 seconds. And his ability is Driven Powerhouse. Allies receive HP up, speed up, attack up level 5. And all enemies receive attack down level 3. Oh, what a shit character. He's not good.
Like if you're gonna use a Driven Powerhouse team, I mean, like versus a Akainu is still a thing. So
I didn't recall like increasing the damage taken status buff by 0.3 is kind of cool. Like if you could probably maybe kind of tandem or put him in a team with like hybrid Kaido potentially. Like I guess, but then again, it wouldn't really work out, right?
No, because if you use the super tandem of Kaido, he buffs his own increased damage taken anyway.
Oh,
so it's like if you apply another one.
We can use him with Quick Kaido. Oh wait, that doesn't go through immunity. Okay, anyway, so where do you use this character is my question. He's not good.
I also find it kind of funny how they released this character that is an orb booster and a color affinity booster for Driven and Powerhouse when we literally just had 6+ Uta that does the same thing.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So I don't understand why they built this character like this.
They didn't again. Like it's one of those things again where they just didn't need to release a legend, but chose to do so anyway. It just
correct.
Like it just doesn't make much sense to release this character. And like as I recall, I don't think his banner was even considered like part of the 8.5 Anni anyway. It was just a regular Pirate Rumble driven banner, more or less. Which I guess if they had titled the banner 8.5 Anni, it might have like at least like you could be like, oh, they're theming the celebration kind of thing. But it's not good. He's not a good character.
No. This character's basically never gonna see play, I don't think.
Rumble, even his Rumble kit isn't that good, especially because it's very driven focused, I believe. So like it's
not great. However, there are some use cases for him because Driven and Powerhouse are okay in Rumble. Like I saw some people were building teams with this guy, the Rumble Rare Recruit Fuji that came out during Film Red.
Yep.
Also like just building a Driven team around that with like Uta 6+, which is like broken in PvP. And you can make this like really crazy team that's incredibly bulky. And plus you've got his Rumble ability with Orochi that inflicts level 3 attack down to all
that's
enemies
crazy.
that is
that's
always
really
active.
Yeah.
So it just adds additional bulk on your end. His special's not the best though. Kind of his biggest downfall really.
He doesn't have a GP leader skill, right? Or a burst.
He does not.
Yeah, that's cringe. Like that's an L for him. Like, at least, like, if you're going to release him at the time of Grand Party's release and give Kinemon or K-Dad, like, the same thing.
On the database, it says he does.
Oh,
no, he does, but it's just
it's the generic one. It's the basic one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every character has, like, a GP burst skill, but it's, like, do damage. Or whatever it is, you know? It's not like, there's, like, 10 units that have very bespoke, like, skills. We'll get to Grand Party because that's
you know what's funny though is the Kizuna Brook that we got, like the free to play Brook. He has a GP skill and leader skill.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Like for what purpose? Like I don't get that. It doesn't make sense.
That made no sense.
That makes no sense. All right, we don't care about Orochi. Is Kanjuro anything about Kanjuro?
The thing about Kanjuro that's interesting is that we finally have a new striker based Rumble Rare recruit, so that's kind of cool.
That's a good point. Driven striker allies receive attack and defense of 5 if HP is above 6%. Give self level 2 special CT speed up. And then his special is driven striker allies for speed up, crit percent up level 6 for 20 seconds. Targets 3 enemies for 3k damage and 100% chance of paralysis. Not bad. Not bad.
It's fine, but 34 CT is a bit steep.
Yeah, that's expensive. So that's a no bueno.
Yeah.
Right. Orochi out of 10.
Orochi out of 10. Yeah, this guy's like a 6 for me.
I think he's not a mid-legend. He's a below mid-legend. He's like a 5, like a 4.5.
Oh, jeez. He's not the worst legend to release this year, though.
Correct. He definitely is not. But he's like a 5.
You can use him for sure, but yeah, totally not needed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Peanut Gallery?
Yeah, I like a 6.
Yeah.
Six.
Wait, why did
Ran-
I answer to that? What the fuck?
yeah. Random, unnecessary.
It's
5
just
out
a
of
waste
10.
of time and resources, right? That's what it feels like. It just feels like a waste of time and resources.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
stupid.
our first big talking point today is Grand Party. So it has released
Oh
as
man.
there's a lot of juice here as well, mind you. But Grand Party has finally released, or by finally I mean we've already played it. So Todd and I have had experience in it. On top of that, in a couple of days after the release of this podcast, Grand Party, the second season will be coming back. So look forward to that as well. Initial thoughts, Todd? How did you feel about Grand Party? What were your overall thoughts? Do you like the mode?
I think in theory it is a good mode.
It's sick in
but
theory.
yeah, the application of it is kind of strange because the deeper you go into the season, the more difficult it does become.
Yep.
And the fact that they take all these things away from you where, oh, now you get no resets, now you get no refreshes,
Yep.
now you can't see their teams.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I hate the most is they, like, as we all know, Rumble is already an RNG heavy game mode, and then what they've done with this game mode adds another layer of RNG on top of it. Because if you load in after you've got your 10, 11 wins and you see incredibly difficult teams, you're in bad shape. And some people will load in and they've got easy teams. So it's that's the RNG, is that you can literally just get screwed over because you got some broken defensive team that you can't pierce through. And then old mate Jeffa gets, freaking jabronis.
He gets a bot. Yeah, he gets a bot that has like literally just all straw hats on a crew, and you're like, hey, cool, like I can win.
So there needs to be some kind of balancing factor where, like, okay, maybe it's bots for the first, 5 wins or something.
Yeah.
And then, if you get to 10 wins, you only play against some of the harder teams, because
I agree.
some people got really lucky to get those 15 wins. And that's the thing about it as well is, the rewards that you get out of it, if you do reach those 15 wins, are pretty good.
Yep.
Considering you don't really have to do any investment, like in terms of
Yep.
gems or stamina into the event. So, yeah, man, I don't know. And also the rules are going to be kind of important too, because they have like a whole list of rules throughout the season, and the rules are a lot different from normal Rumble. Like in normal Rumble, it's like, level 2, 3 increase to certain stats to like a couple of different classes or colors, but this one's like pretty big, where it's like level 5 and 6s to certain stats, which can definitely turn the tide.
Correct. Yeah, you just absolutely smashed that, to be honest. So it's basically, as we kind of thought, you have 3 matches a day, you play those 3 matches, and it's based on wins. So like team 1 versus team 1, team 2 versus team 2, team 3 versus team 3. You have to win best 2 out of 3 to get the overall win. So as Todd mentioned, there is like refreshes and wins. It depends on how many wins you get. So like just quickly running through it. 0 to 1, no limit on refreshes, no limit on retries. 2 to 3 wins, no limit on refreshes. You have up to 3 retries. 4 to 5 is up to 3 refreshes, up to 2 retries. After 6, it's 2 and 2. Between 7 and 8 wins, it's 2 and 1. 9 wins, it's 1 refresh, 1 retry. 10 to 11 wins is 1 refresh and no retries. And 12 to 14 is no refreshes, no retries. On top of that, what isn't listed is, as you get more wins, you start not being shown your opponents, which is a massive factor when it comes to it. And it's not just like, we're going to hide 1 or 2 units, or we're going to hide a team. It's like, if you get to like 12, I think it starts like 12 or 13 wins. I think it might be 14. But when you get to those later stages, all your opponent's teams are missing. You don't see any of them. So you have little to no information presented to you, which kind of doesn't make any sense, because like, I don't know. I'm just a bit perplexed that they think that was a good idea to make it artificially more challenging. I would have liked it if it was like, maybe at like 13 or 14 wins, they hide like 2 teams. Or maybe they hide the leader, so you don't get to see what leader they have. or like they do something along those lines. But the fact that at 14 wins, you might as well just pick any random opponent and verse them and just hope to God you can win. That's how it kind of feels like it plays out. Because I didn't get 50. I think I got 14 wins. I think it was.
Yeah, it did better than me. I got 13.
Yeah, like it, and I think Yannicka, our community manager, got 15. Like,
Carissa got 15.
Chris got 15. A few of our alliance members got 15, 14. People got 12. I know Stump got fucked, and same as Rubionic. They got fucked in their final match because it glitched out and didn't count their last win. And then they got reimbursed. They got reimbursed. So they got their 15 wins. So Bandai did hold their own in that.
I guess that's something that we should say as well. Is that it's a little bit different from Rumble, where normally when the time runs out, if you haven't KO'd all of their team, you just straight up lose. But this time around, if you have more team members than the opponent when the time runs out, it counts as a victory for you. So that's huge. I like that.
Yes, I agree. I think that I feel like that should just be in. No, like maybe they should. Do you think that should be a feature in regular Rumble, or do you think that would just like remove the whole idea of stall teams?
Yeah, people would just run like bulky ass shit with like cheese and stuff. It would not be fun.
That's fair. I mean, it's pretty like I agree with what you mentioned, Todd. Like it's a pretty straightforward mode in reality, right? Yeah. Except now you have this added layer of strategy where there are special rules and buffs, and so. Currently, so the coming season has level 8 attack up for int, level 5 speed up for dex, powerhouse get special CT up level 5, driven get HP up level 5, and then it's also when leader is present on the team, powerhouse classes get defense at level 3, and in the last 30 seconds, special CT up damage up, which is pretty common. But
I'm not looking forward to this season.
This is going to suck. Anyone that pulls that Big Mum unit, which we'll talk about a little later, is going to be... I think going to be pretty in the sauce there. Also, 6+ Uchi is going to make a massive run in this one.
Right. That's what I'm most scared about because like int-driven powerhouse squads are just going to be so bulky and powerful, and they're going to have like level 5 CT for the powerhouse. So it's going to be a nightmare.
And then also to add to the whole strategy layer, you have this whole now GP leader skill and GP burst. So GP Leader is like a blanket ability for for all 3 teams, where like it just provides a buff or something like that for all 3 teams there. And then your GP Burst, which is basically just like a special, you can use it at any time within any of the 3 matches. So now there's this added layer of when do I pop my special? Is it a good time to use it now? Or and then a lot of strategies have evolved from that as well. And there's also a skip button, which is pretty cool, but at the same time, kind of counterintuitive because I feel like with the whole idea of the special, the GP burst ability, you want to be watching it to use in the right times and such. I feel like they should have added this. They should have added the skip button to Pyre Rumble potentially, but then again, there's the issue of like people who just started spamming matches in Pyre Rumble and had spent God knows how many gems or whatever. So that's Grand Party, I suppose. Like it's. I thought we were going to talk about it a little longer, but I think
it's simple.
It's the right idea, but I feel once again Bandai has hit the nail on the head with the idea, but the execution has been a bit poor, in my opinion.
I think that they should definitely allow more people to get more of the rewards because you have to get all 15 wins to get a total of 50 gems, and like the last win itself gives you 20 of the 50 gems.
That's the fucked up. I think the way that they did the rules, they should do the awards, if that makes sense, right? They should. Like, so you know how it's like zero, so if you get 1 to 2 wins, you get like some amount. If you get 14 to 15 wins, you should get the 20 gems and the candy and the bounty and such too. That's how I feel like they should have done it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that one. I feel like 15 wins, sure you can get probably the title and whatever else.
Leave the title and whatever. Yeah, I agree.
The gems should be a bit more accessible, honestly.
Because it's up to 50 gems and 3 mil bounty if you get 50 wins. 15 wins, sorry. Like, I feel like, I think if you got 14 wins, you should be given 50 gems. Like, 14 wins is still really challenging to do, especially if you get a really a roll of bad luck and like you just get really shitty opponents. Like, it's kind of out of your hands. So
Yeah, exactly, because it's so RNG. Just
yeah, I don't. Like we haven't really had any kind of moments where they've fixed up rewards too early in a game mode, but I mean, fingers crossed as per usual. But I think grand parties.
The worst thing about it is we were just so confused heading into it, and we really didn't know how it was going to work. We didn't know what we really needed to do.
Yeah.
At least this time around, with the second announcement of season 2,
yeah,
they have fully listed exactly what happens after each win, which is what they should have done from the get-go. I don't know why that wasn't clear initially.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, it was just the confusion. Everyone really didn't know what the hell was going on.
Because when they announced it in game, at least how I read it, and I might have been wrong in how I read it, was that you could just the way that I read it was as if you could just infinitely like refresh or like at least infinitely like retry until you won.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And I was like, that's sick then. At least it means that everyone will be guaranteed 50 gems a month. Like, that's awesome. But all these additional rules and such just made it way worse. I think I dislike the most hiding all 3 teams. I think that's a bit much.
It is a bit much.
I think
totally
two teams okay. Like 3 teams is a lot. Like I should be able to at least know one of the teams my opponent has to be able to plan and prepare myself better. That's just how it should be, you know? Maybe randomize the position of the team that's unveiled, but yeah, 3 is a lot. But I mean, at the end of the day,
Oh yeah.
Go.
And there's also the elephant in the room, which is old mate Roger, who come
talk
back
about him.
swinging.
Roger's once again. Roger arguably might be one of the best legends again. He's back because that
actually Giga Chad.
His GP leader and his burst is nuts.
It's halving stats and then guaranteed fixed damage.
And isn't it like is there CT charge as well, some shit on it, or is it just
his special was just guaranteed fixed damage to all enemies, and all enemies also inflicted with half stats for 20 seconds.
So basically, you just build a team 1 that can just take a lot of hits of damage, and potentially win or lose the first match. Match 2, you bring like a slasher team or whatever. Poppy's special before Kizaru pops off. So half stats and just kill everything. So easy second win. And then third win, you already you can pop it, you know, you don't have to pop it, but like you already have the additional boosts and buffs and whatever. So you just run in and wreak havoc. Like
I wonder if that's even going to be like a viable strategy this next season due to the rules of what they're going to implement.
I think
Driven and Powerhouse.
I think 6+ Uta will be the way this time around. If you're building a team with 6+ Uta will be probably the safest.
Uta's a little riskier because you can only use her special once.
Ah, good point.
Her GP burst, yeah.
Are you gonna make
we'll see.
like a prep video or anything?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is gonna be a rough one, I think, but yeah, we'll see how things go.
Yeah, I think it's
gonna be interesting.
It's cool because like to put it in a more positive sense, it's cool because there is the option to be creative in a sense with like the teams you run and what you have. But naturally, with any kind of game mode, a meta develops, you know, and then everyone starts running the same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of people are going to be running the whole Dex team, slasher team, like side team with Roger as the leader and you use his burst and such. So, you know, it's a pretty common thing there. I don't know if Flame or Night, you guys saw anything about Grand Party, if you have any opinions on that front.
I was just gonna ask you guys, is it more of a grand party or a bland party?
I would say right now it's more of a party. It's like it's the kind of party where it's like you've been invited to the party, but it's like, you know, like 2 people there, and you're like, do I go? Do I not go? You end up going, and like you have a good time for a bit, but then the people that you were there with leave, and now you're like stuck in a position where it's like, do I stay and try to like small talk my way in and meet some people, or do I just leave as well and go home and like play OPTC? You know, so that's the kind of party I think it is.
Fair enough. I mean,
go.
I didn't really watch anything of it just because it was like Rumble, and honestly, I'd rather not watch videos on Rumble.
I respect that.
I'd rather kill myself, but anyways. I don't know. I don't really have too much to say on the topic
Yeah,
except
that's
for
fair.
it's like Rumble 2.0.
Pretty
So
much.
far, it just seems more restricted.
Hey, it's
Whereas like
free content.
you get fucked basically. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're unlucky, you're fucked. But hey, it's a free 5 videos every month. Easy
Yeah.
5 videos every month.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
nice little like 40k views maybe from those videos. Call it a day. Money in the pocket. No stress. I think it's about it. I mean, like, I think it'll be interesting in like 6 months' time where Grand Party ends up. Because now it's, hey, I'm going to say the words, guys. The content cycle, it's part of it now. It seems that, like,
Yay.
at
At
the
least it gives
end.
us something to do at the start of every month.
Exactly, you know, at the end of the month to the start of the next month, like, there was usually just nothing. Now it's like, at least we have this, and then that leads into point farming, which leads into blah, 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 and so on. So, at least there's another thing added to it. And, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really consume much time playing it, which is kind of a good thing, too. But, like, you could, I mean, it just sucks because, like, if you get, like, 2 or 3 losses, you miss out on like 30 gems or so, which is like a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It is what it is. It's about
I don't
it.
know how I feel about it, but yeah, we'll see how things go. We'll report back on that at some point.
Yeah, I think so. I think in a couple months' time, like after New Year's, because obviously the New Year's Legends when they come out will be fucking cracked in all modes as they usually are.
Oh, well, except for when Hybrid Kaido came out and he was terrible in Rumble.
Oh, that was funny. Good times. But he ended up being the best legend in the game, so it's fine. He's doing his thing now. Yeah, I think that's it. Grand Party. I think we'll have a good conversation about it in a couple months' time. So, comment section, you can hold us to that one there. Did you guys see that the Treasure Cruise team released a letter to the community?
About what? Which one are you talking about?
the one that was right after your interview, sir.
Oh, did we not talk about that during
I
last
don't think we did.
Or am I tripping?
I don't think we. I think we barely talked about it.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to kind of break it down, and have a run through of what was brought up, because I think that this is a really good thing to bring up to the community. But again, I feel like it falls on the shoulders of right idea, wrong execution.
Okay.
So let's run it and let's see what everyone's opinions are from there. So the first point they bring up is content, right? Which is really interesting because I think it perplexes me, again, to use that word, but it's also very interesting that they're aware that there's an issue with the content in the game. So like it does mean that they're very privy to the problems that are at hand. And I guess they kind of try to address a few things as to the problems with the content. So it starts with saying, we hear and understand your feedback that many of you would like to play more different types of content to your characters in. We also identified a problem with the current format of some events requiring repetition of the same quests in the same way. Therefore, we want to talk about the relevant events and our strategies for resolving these issues. Interesting. So they start off with Clash/Arena. Clash and Arena events are structured to require grinding. So in the OPTC team's opinion, they aren't the best events. As a result, we decided to run them less frequently. This appeared to players as if we had eliminated the events entirely, which caused some confusion. We think we have failed to address players' concerns the way we'd hoped because we didn't explain our intentions for gameplay improvement. We also want to tackle the problem of insufficient playable content outside of those events. I hate that.
Yeah.
They completely miss the whole point of our concerns, I feel like.
Like, we didn't hate the event.
No, not at all.
We just wanted to see more of it.
I think it's not repetitive though. Like I don't think it's like,
because at the end of the day, what it does is it means that we get less free to play characters, which is the worst part.
That's the worst part of all this.
And it is really dumb because they went out of their way to make these events less repetitive by making
max skill
Chopman missions. Yeah, they come with max skill. Yeah, exactly. And the farming of the character, you just need to farm for the potential abilities, and that's it. If a player can't beat the highest difficulty, they can clear the lowest difficulty, get a copy of the unit guarantee,
and be good.
Max skill, good to go.
Exactly. So I think I think I've said it a few times, but my answer to this is that I feel like everything became too similar to each other, which is why it's been slowed down. Because arenas are the same as raids that were the same as point farming events that were the same as blitz. Like, it's all the same kind of content, the same way you acquire units. So I feel like this might be a guise to trying to fix that issue. But in reality, I think the issue is that everything became the same. There was no, like, what's the difference between an arena unit and a raid unit? Like, really nothing at all, you know? So I just think, I hate the fact that they've specifically mentioned repetitive. Like, it required grinding. It's like, no, TM requires grinding. That's a big issue.
The game is a grind. Like,
that's what you sign up for.
Oh.
No, go.
No, go, man.
I think, like, the only thing that people were complaining about grinding with, personally, at least when I played, was that when they added the fucking, like, personal limit breaks for every fucking character, you could barely, like, drop the, like, jewels and shit. You have to, like, farm your ass off. Well, like, maxing the characters weren't that bad.
Easy, yeah.
But then you have to, like, go for the fucking jewels and shit, and you would have to do, like, 20 more extra runs just to get some shards and shit. I think that's where they fucked up with that, but then they improved it with like the so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? So they identified that issue and they said, all right, we're just gonna make you have to farm for the copies instead of the materials. And heck, there wasn't even materials anymore, right? They ended up making it regular limit break materials. So I guess my counter argument to that is, I think it sounds weird, but I preferred the bespoke materials because it meant that I didn't have to use my limit break materials to max out a free-to-play character, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I feel like I could then use my limit break materials on like rare recruits and legends and stuff, and I'll be more inclined to farm the content to get their materials. That was how I kind of viewed it in a sense.
But
I don't know. I think it's a really weird paragraph. Anyway, next paragraph.
I agree with that.
What do you like? What part?
No, like what you were saying, like
what I
using,
mentioned,
like, yeah. I was just gonna say, I feel like it would have been better if, even if they like kept like the personal limit break materials, they like made them more guaranteed. So like on stage 3, you would get like shards or like a jewel, and then like an orb.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they did guarantee like medium and small crystals were guaranteed to drop every run. I think that was the case.
Yeah.
Arena Croc, right?
They did the fragments were guaranteed, and then like the jewels were easier to get, but then it came to an issue where the middle ones were the hardest ones to get.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They guaranteed the shards every. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a really like Chopper Man missions. Like you can get them if you do like 20 runs, get them through Chopper Man missions. Some shit like that.
I think
though they gave a little bit out in Chopper Man. If I remember.
I was gonna say I don't know if it was enough to max the character, but they definitely did give them out anyway. So maybe my argument's mute anyway. But like, I don't know. It's a weird paragraph nonetheless. Jumping forward, events introduced at the beginning of the month. And their example is the Luffy Whitebeard point farming event. So currently we have the Kaido one, and we'll have the Ulti one coming in a couple days. These events have become repetitive and mainly serve as a chance to collect totals. We're working on new content to replace them. We can't share the details just yet, but we hope this new content will challenge players to think strategically and allow you to fight battles your own way rather than just grinding repetitive quests. What do they do to solve this, though? Like... I don't get it, because these events are piss easy and are there to farm turtles, and I feel like they're missing the point that people do want something to farm. They want to grind content.
People want to use their characters.
Exactly. So I don't get why. What do they do to solve it? Like
well, I think that the turtles need to be improved. The turtles are so fucking dog shit. The amount of turtles you need to max level a character is absurd.
1,500 small turtles, by the way. 1,500.
They need to increase the drop rates. They need to increase the drop rates hard.
Assuming you have the maximum amount of drops, you could get to about, let's say 30. I think that's even pushing it. I think 20 even. 20 drops, let's say 20 small turtles per run. That's a minimum of 75 runs? No, not 75, 750 runs. Or some shit like that. To get 1,500 turtles to max level limit break your character. 750 runs. That's too much. I think what they should do is, on the lower stam, guarantee an Elder Turtle on stage 5, and every other drop is a small turtle. And on the highest stam, guarantee a Hime Turtle on stage 5, and every other drop's an Elder Turtle. Incentivize people to play the highest stam version.
I mean, even just guaranteeing an Elder Turtle every single run, that would improve it drastically. Like, even by a little bit, because you get, if you're running dupe drops, you get a lot more Elder Turtles, which means you just get more EXP overall.
Yeah.
And they do need to definitely increase the drop rates of the Princess Turtles, because you can literally do all the Chopman missions and not see a single one.
How many times?
It's
Bro,
absurd.
When I was doing the Glowstick Island, right? Did you see that shit?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get... Yep. I farmed that island consistently. Not consistently, pretty infrequently, but for a long time. Only after there was 4 days or 3 days left did I get a gold Glowstick drop. That was 60 plus days of farming to get a gold Glowstick to drop. Which is just insane. Like, maybe that's
never happen.
Yeah, maybe like that's an outlier. That's cool. But like, I agree. I personally, they should just... If you farm the highest stam, you should get a guaranteed Hime every run. You just should. Because you're spending more stamina, and technically it's a harder quest. So you should just get more rewards out of it. I don't see any sort of resolution to saying we're going to change this mode. What are you going to change though? Are you just going to make it so we farm it 12 times, get 100 turtles and call it a day? Like, that's not an answer. We need shit we can farm and use our characters on too. So even that paragraph's a bit just, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. I don't know. I just fail to see how they resolve whatever issue this is. Because I don't even think it's an issue, right? Like, I think I like the fact that it's player autonomy. It's like, if you want to farm your 500 turtles and dip, you can do that. But if you want to keep farming for more like a level like EXP materials, you can also do that as well. So I hope that whatever answer they have isn't like a limited amount of times you can farm it or whatever the case is.
One thing that is fine is like the rewards from the event are fine.
Sick.
It's just the event itself is trash.
Correct. Like, it just doesn't make... Like, maybe reduce how much stamina it costs, maybe make it easier, maybe make it faster, maybe make it 3 stages. I don't know. Like, there's a lot they could potentially do, but I mean...
If they did do it 3 stages, but a guaranteed, like, Elder or Hime per run, that would be pretty sick, actually.
You could pump through runs at that level then, So it's...
It would take you more runs, though, because you're getting less turtles overall.
Correct.
But if you're getting better quality turtles, then I think people would probably be okay with that.
I think I'd much rather guarantee myself an Elder Turtle every run than I would get, like, Cola or, like, small turtles,
Like, so many runs. You'll get, like, 3, 4, or 5 just generic ass low shit turtles that don't do anything. And it just feels like you're wasting time.
Correct. Yeah. You're just like, that's why I order the lowest stam, right? Because it's just like, get through the event, get my gems, get my limit break materials and tickets and whatever, and then, character's done. On to the next.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
I guess we'll see. Like, hopefully, fingers crossed, as per usual. And then the final point there was GARP challenges. Some players see this event more as a grind for rewards than a fun gameplay experience. We want it to be fun to play, and the rewards earned reflect player enjoyment. As with the new content we mentioned, we'd like players to enjoy themselves as they pit their wits and skills against this challenge, earning rewards in the process. We're working on making that happen. We need a little bit more time. That is full of bullshit. I don't know. I don't like it. And I hate GARP challenges. I despise them entirely. And I think that's full of it. I don't know. So it seems like they're creating a new game mode entirely that's going to incorporate farming for units and giving out rewards and having it be challenging as well. So some sort of mix of all of that. Is that kind of the gist you got out of it, or?
I don't know if it's going to be a new game mode or just like a new event or something.
I think a new event's the right word. Sorry, I think a new event would makes more sense. But it seems like there's going to be a new event of some kind that's going to incorporate the clash, the event, the monthly event, and GARP challenges like all in one. But then it's just less to do though. Like, I don't know. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Like, you make it more enjoyable and more strategic and better rewards, but you now remove a lot more content to play. Like, so you can't have both sides be positive. It's a step forward and a step back.
I mean, GARP challenge, I think, like, the way that they were doing GARP challenges was pretty boring, honestly.
Correct,
But
I agree.
what they should really just do is, like, just have a certain amount of them come out, and then certain Chopman missions, so people have to build certain teams in order to beat it. Like,
randomize
strength.
It'd be so easy to program as well, right? Just
pick a couple colors, pick a couple classes, go
Done.
for it.
Pick 2-3 GARP challenges, and then just set a randomize to pick like 5 different Chopman missions that range from different colors and classes, and then set it up. So, this month it's beating GARP challenge Anno with strength, with slasher, with free spirit, with quick, with Psy. Like, that's sick then. At least it allows people to think differently, and the new Kinemon Dendra out, so maybe I can try to do a free spirit slasher strength team, and like that's the creativity aspect people want. So and then the final point they put in is limited availability of previously released characters. Although we have run returning events in the past, they alone may not be the best way to make previously released characters available. We're considering better options, including making those characters available through new content currently in development. We'll share more as details come. To sum up, we have new content in development, which we hope will provide players with less grinding and more fun and challenging gameplay daily, as well as offering a way to acquire previously released characters, all while earning rewards. And then they go on to say, we realize this doesn't address all feedback we've received from the community, but please bear with us as we're blah, 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 blah. First and foremost, fantastic thing from the team. You gotta give credit where credit's due. I think it's very important that they put this out there and they kind of come back to that idea of transparency, because I feel like we go through waves where like the team is super transparent and it stops being transparent and it goes back to being transparent. So like, the podcast sounds like a broken record, but we hope that this continues in the transparency department. But I think it seems like there's going to be some sort of new game mode or event that requires players to daily play that isn't required to grind. So, I don't know. I think
it's probably going to take quite a while before we even see anything relating to this come out.
I would say probably JP Anni next year, even, or maybe even Global Anni if we wanted to be optimistic. Would be the case for anything to come out. But I think that they probably addressed right idea, wrong execution. Where they should have addressed Kizuna and Treasure Map and Pirate Rumble. Those are the big ones they should have addressed. No one's really complaining about monthly events. People are only complaining about clashes and arenas because they're non-existent anymore. And people complain about GARP challenges because they were, for a lot of players, really fun and enjoyable to play in, right? They weren't complaining about the grind. They were complaining about not having enough to grind, as a matter of fact. So I feel like
that was the problem, is we didn't have enough content to play. Like, there was literally lots of times where you do the turtle event and you do it relatively quickly, and then it's done, and then you got to wait like a whole fucking week and a half until Treasure Map, play that, and then you got Kizuna, and then you lead into the next shit, and it was just getting a little bit stale. So they needed to shake it up a bit.
So I think it would have been nice for them to have talked about Treasure Map as being a massive grind fest, because that's probably one of the worst grinds right now. Same as Kizuna. Like, I mean, how are you finding Super Kizuna right now, Todd? It's just it feels there's nothing special about it, right? It's just
at least we can cheese one of the bosses.
Yeah, thank God they fucked that up. Well, not really, but they it makes our life a little easier. But
we take it.
Exactly, but those are the things they should have talked about but didn't. but I don't want to carry on too long. Any closing
least they
thoughts in
said
the letter?
something.
Yeah.
No.
Anything
Yeah.
else?
I'm just happy that they mentioned something and that they're well, we hope that they're taking feedback on board, and I guess we'll just see how it kind of progresses from there, I guess.
I agree. Anything else from you guys?
For me, since I didn't really say much about it, I mean, I appreciate that they dropped the letter, but like you said, like they really didn't address anything that most people have a problem with it, with
Yes.
like treasure map and stuff. So I feel like in a way, this letter was pointless.
Yeah.
I think that was a mistake. I'm pretty sure treasure map was meant to be mentioned. Because I know that some people in the Bandai Discord mentioned that to Yannicka, and I think she would say that treasure map should have been mentioned, and treasure map has been addressed in the team. So
okay, well that's a positive to hear that.
That is a mistake. That should have been on the letter.
Okay,
I agree.
Right.
And imagine it said TM was great.
the letter says, as the Good Great Perfect podcast have mentioned in the past, treasure map is the best game mode in the game, so therefore no changes will be occurring.
No, it's the worst until we get Legend Jerzu.
Yep.
Hey, Knight's coming back when the Knight's going rank 1 when Legend Jerzu comes out.
God.
But yeah, so I think I said this last episode when we were like briefly talking about the letter.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see like if they actually like had some examples of things that they were preparing, not just we have some stuff, look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that would have been nice. And then I just really hope that like they execute on some of the stuff, because there is a lot of times like that they do say stuff and then like it just comes out and it's horrible.
Yeah.
So
I'm very I'm just very interested to see what this new event, game mode, whatever it is going to be. And because I agree with you, a lot of the times there's solutions for less grinding means less rewards though. Like I think people wouldn't be complaining about the turtle events, because I would love to grind the turtle events, but I don't want to sit there and farm the 40 stamina and have to focus. But at the same time, I don't want to farm the 40 stamina and, as Todd mentioned, not see a Hime turtle. Like, that's such a massive... Like, those are the things that should be rejigged and reconfigured. Like, the content's there. You guys have put in the hard work to make the content, and no one's complaining about that content. It's what they're complaining about is there's not enough of it. Give us an arena, give us a raid, give us the turtle farming event. Fuck it, give us TM, give us Kisa, give us so much shit to do that we're always constantly in your app and playing it and farming and doing something. You know, like that's what people want. It's if people want to farm everything in the first day, that's on them at that point then, right? But if not giving us enough to farm is, I think, the problem we're at now. And I don't think the problem is the grind or the repetitiveness. Yes, the content cycle is an issue because it's the same shit every time and nothing changes. But I don't think the repetitiveness of the content we play is the issue at hand.
I think another thing that I don't think they will, just because of how the nature of the game is and where they're like headed right now, but I really hope whatever they do decide to make is not so heavily relied on point boosters, especially pullable.
The thing is, it will be though, because that's the money, right?
Exactly. That's why I said like the nature of the game.
Exactly.
That's how they've been doing it. Because it does make it like a lot more difficult for players out there that aren't as fortunate or just don't blow everything on it.
Yeah, correct.
And
that's the other thing as well, is the fact that we've had so much less events means there's less free-to-play players that are on the boosted list.
Exactly.
Also, there's less gems being handed out. Like I think Game Freak mentioned that last month was one of the lower average free-to-play gem months.
Oh damn!
Like it hit a low, which is kind of upsetting because we were doing really well in terms of free-to-play gems for a while. So, and I think that's attributed to the fact that there's no arena, there's no raids, there's no extra kinds of events and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things there. Knight, any thoughts there?
I was just gonna say, for like the whole GARP challenge things, I know that like a lot of people. Well, I know like a lot of people wanted them back and like you hit them and stuff, but I think like the main issue of GARP challenge was that they never made any like new ones after a certain point.
Exactly.
They're just renewing the same shit
Yep.
and then like keeping the same old missions instead of like revamping the missions and like changing it up like every once in a while. So
Mm-hmm.
if they do bring like the next game out, I hope that they like have varying missions that like change maybe monthly or like 1 month you have to use like all colors, next month all classes, next month straw hats, next month Big Mom Pirates, some shit like that.
Also,
go.
I was gonna say I was super upset that they stopped making the 13-star whatever ones, like those super hard ones, because me and Knight really enjoyed those. We used to body those, and like they just stopped making them. Like I didn't, and then they started making like the easier ones, like the Rev 2 and all that shit. Like I don't like. I mean, I get why, because you know a lot of people couldn't beat them, but like those were challenging. Those were fun. Those like those were things that like people could aim to beat.
Exactly.
And
It's,
as time went on, you can like, you know, the more units that came out, the easier it was gonna get for people to beat.
I think one of the like, it's in our other news, but like they randomly brought back these fake dual unit straw hats, like the 101 ones, but they also brought back the Chopper Man missions. I feel like that's a good way of bringing back old content, right? Bring back old content and have some Chopper Man missions for that content, so people. Like, even if you have the units maxed, have like 10 gems available for people to get by beating it again or some shit. You know? Like, I think that's a sick idea. Like, for example, the fake dual unit ones only gave out 4 gems. I still did it. I was like, well, that's 4 gems that's available that, you know, I wouldn't have had otherwise, right? So, like, I think that's a good way to reintroduce old content and say, like, all right, so this month you're going to have the point farming ulti, but we're also going to bring back Raid Mihawk and we're going to bring back Raid Duval. And if you beat those, you're going to get 10 gems from each or whatever. Like, that's the way to reintroduce old content again. Because then people that are new... Oh, sorry, go, Todd.
Oh, so if they also do that, plus give those units level limit breaks, that would be nice.
And there we go, you know, like then it's like now you have a swing of things where you can bring back old units and stuff. One thing I wanted to mention about Garp challenges too, it's like the fact that they've removed Garp challenges to bring in Grand Voyage, but then Grand Voyage only comes out once every 2 months. It's like, sure, you could have had a cycle where Garp challenge Grand Voyage, Garp challenge Grand Voyage every month alternating.
Right.
Like, you know, like, and the thing is, they're only bringing out one new event for Grand Voyage every 2 months. Like, if they're bringing out 3 or 4 of them, which is, I know is a lot, but if they bring out 3 or 4 of them, that would have been, at least you're like, whoa, okay, there's a lot more things to play and I can sink my teeth into. But the fact that it's one, somebody finds a team, people do that if they have the necessary facilities and they beat it. Or people like me, for example, who I'm just not going to touch it for like 6 months until there's piss easy teams and I'm just going to go and sweep it all in like a day. So like, it doesn't make so much sense. You take from one basket and put it into another, but then that basket becomes empty and so on and so forth. So, I don't know. I think again, this is another touchstone that definitely will pop up at some point again in the future, but, I mean, we'll go from there, I suppose. Yeah. All right. Next topic of agenda. 8.5 Anni Part 2 saw the introduction of V4 Zolo. He's in the game.
Ooh. He's just like a samurai.
He definitely looks like a samurai. Zoro introduced. He's full. He has big art. He is one of the anniversary exclusive characters. So take that with a grain of salt. So akin to Kinemon Denjiro, akin to K-Dad, and akin to waifus. The unit is...
that was kind of annoying that they did that, man. I'm so pissed that they made this guy an Annie.
It also doesn't make sense. Like, it's also kind of bullshit that they've released 2 legends back to back and they're both exclusive as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Really shitty.
It's a lot.
Zoro should have just been a treasure map legend.
He would have been a fucking crazy treasure map legend too. As they always are. But the character nonetheless. Slasher free spirit character. He has a superclass slasher ability. He is a dex unit. His captain ability. Boosts Slash and Free Spirit characters attack by 5.4 with a matching slot, 5.25 otherwise. Boosts their HP by 1.2, reduces damage taken by 10%. When this character taps with a tandem or Wano slot, buffs chain coefficient additional boosts, excluding chain multiplier, by 0.25. He cuts the crew's HP, his special, he cuts the crew's HP by 20%, deals 1 million damage, ignoring defensive effects, defense up and NAO, reduces percent damage reduction and threshold by 6 turns, boosts Slash and Free Spirit characters' chain growth rate by 0.6, so this is the same tap as like Law and Kid have, and if character slot is Wano or Tandem when the special is launched, multiplies the chain by 1.5 for 1 turn. His super class requires you to have any of the Straw Hats, Hiro Yamato, or have an affinity and or boost active. And his super special is deals 75x his attack in non-type damage to all enemies, boosts Slash and Free Spirit attack by 2.5 for 1 turn, and changes to Super Slasher. And then his support is at the start of the final battle, boosts the chain multiplier by 0.5 for 1 turn, and that attaches to all slashers. We'll go Rumble Kid as well. Targets enemies, so his special targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 2.3x attack. Targets one enemy for 1.5x damage, ignoring defense. And his ability is Slasher allies receive speed up and attack at level 5. When receiving damage, gives self attack up 1, crit up 1, up to 4 times.
Yeah, he's
fucking good. I like him a lot. I think he's a very strong character. Just inherently just very strong. Like 5.25x base, 5.4 with a matching slot. You can pair him really well with like Hiyori again to get the Wano slots to like give him better ability. I think he's a sick legend.
That's one thing about him that I don't like is that he doesn't have an inbuilt way to generate Wano or tandem slots.
Correct.
It is
I agree.
relying on other characters. So
I agree.
That does kind of bring him down a little bit. But I'm actually a really big fan of his special because his special can be used in a lot of cool ways, and he's going to see a lot of play in Super Boss Kizuna's because of the fact that he does the chain addition stuff, but also the chain multiplier. The 1.5 chain multiplier is very uncommon. You don't see that often. I think the only one that comes to mind that does it is the Super Tandem Blackbeard Super Tandem ability. So it's pretty rare to get a 1.5 multiplicative boost. And if you do opt to use him as a captain, he synergizes well with Super Tandem Luffy. It almost feels like Super Tandem Luffy and this guy was supposed to come out simultaneously. They work so well together.
I agree with that because before we started cheesing the quick super boss, that was such a deadly combination to have those two running together. Like level 5 super tandem Luffy with this guy. Because mind you, this character doesn't have a super tandem or a super or a final tap. Which I think has been which a lot of people at first I was kind of like whatever, but now like after using him and kind of attributing him also to being a super exclusive character, kind of probably should have had something. Like not that for me it's not the end all be all for me, but it would have made sense.
Just would have added an additional layer that would have made the character much stronger than what he currently is.
Like if he had a final tap and then paired with Super Tandem Luffy, and you had like there could have been something there. Like that would have been really juicy, I reckon. So it's interesting to think about it in that
I wonder
sense.
if they're gonna do a Fighter Free Spirit like Dex Sanji at some point. That's a super type.
They would have to at this point, right?
I feel like that would make a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Maybe a little bit later on into Wano anime, maybe they'll bring out a new Sanji that's like Dex super type or something like that synergizes with these guys.
It would make a lot of sense if they, because then you could run like Sanji and Luffy captain Zoro on the team as well, and you'd have some really disgusting like combination there.
Yeah, it sounds pretty sick actually.
Because his little his chain boost is for Slasher Free Spirit, and then the multiplicative is Rainbow, right?
Correct.
That's sick.
But it is weird as a captain because he's captain when you tap on him with a tandem or a Wano slot. He increases chain addition buffs by 0.25. His special is not a chain addition buff; it's a multiplicative buff. So you need to use another effect that gives you a chain boosting buff, additive, in order for you to actually buff it with his captain. So that's a little strange too. Also, the fact that his support effect is a chain addition buff when the rest of his kit doesn't do any chain addition buffs. So that's kind of bizarre. But you can have like Koshiro support on him, which gives you
Yep.
chain addition, which is cool. You could have a lot of other different supports that do chain additions. I know like even super bosses using like Mr. One on Bon Clay.
Mhm.
You can use Whitey Bay on Ace Yamato. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do it.
And what is it? Super class Doflamingo, I think, can do it for Driven. I think it is.
Yep.
On the final stage, like all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. So
Super type
plenty of options
Sabo.
there. Yep.
Yeah. The Legend Garp Kappa.
Don't bring him up. Don't give him any
What's wrong with
spotlight.
Rumble Garp?
All right, and moving on.
I like that he's at least an attack booster with his super class. That's kind of cool.
It is. It's good. It's always one of those things where like I always compare it back to V4 Boa. V4 Boa's super class or super type, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
How it's like full board of orbs and a 2.5x attack boost. It's still one of the gnarliest super types out there, to be honest with you. So
Yep.
it's like he's sick. I love like this Zoro, and I love this Zoro moment. Is it super exclusive worthy? I don't think so.
Like, if we're just ranking the Annie legends, right? Like, we're talking like K-Dad, waifus, and this guy. I feel like this is probably the least useful of the three. Like, if you could only pick one.
If I could only pick one to be
That's
waifus. I think so. I still think waifus would be the one that I pick.
I would probably agree with you on that one. Like,
I think
K-Dad's
waifus
cool and all,
is-
but
yeah.
waifus are so useful.
To be honest, using
And they-
K-Dad and this unit together, very good combination too.
Yeah, that's another thing as well, is I haven't experienced having K-Dad at level 5 yet, so I guess I can't really
I
say
think
much about
K-Dad
that,
at
but-
level 5 with this unit is gnarly
Yeah.
combination. But I mean that requires you get to level 5 last tab, which we all know is impossible. Rumble Kit, I mean, is sick for slashes. You know, another Donnie to put up there. Like, slasher team's already stacked as hell. But I think you used him, did you not, Todd? And how did you feel about him as in the slasher team, when even in like a Dex team or whatever?
He was fine. I like his rumble ability. I think that's okay. His special on paper is fine, but I found through using him
Right.
that K-Dad just felt like to be the better choice, right? Because if we
I
think
agree.
if you're gonna build a slasher team in Rumble, you're definitely using Roger Whitebeard.
Yep.
You're definitely I would say you're using Odin, the strength Odin.
Odin, probably Kizaru's there, like
Cracker potentially.
Cracker potentially. Like, there's a
Doflamingo,
lot of-
maybe.
yeah,
Doflamingo's definitely lost a little bit of favor. I feel like
What's
Dofi's
my
still an
slasher team
option,
right now.
but I feel like it's probably better to just go all out offense rather than, Dofi, which gives you a little bit of defense. It's
Yeah, there's
probably
no
better
point.
just drop him to add more CT or more damage. So
My slasher team right now is Cracker, Kizaru, Roger, Whitebeard, Odin, Kinemon, K-Dad, and then Moria on the bench.
yeah, that's probably about as good as you're gonna get for slashers right now. K-Dad are just better because they get you more guaranteed damage. Despite the fact that Zoro does do damage through defense, it is only targeting one character, I believe.
Yeah. I
And
think
it's
so
only
too.
1.5, so it's not a huge value.
Like
if-
Kid is like the only sick character that goes to defense. Like that last tab
Right,
Kid.
because it does it's a large frontal damage or
Yeah,
something.
so
to
you
Kid,
just hit a whole team, go through all their defense, and just do a fuck ton of damage.
Yeah, it's not even comparable. Yeah, if Zoro did a similar range to what Kid did, I'd say Zoro is definitely the best unit to be using there. But nah. Plus, he does like 2 hits of damage. He does the damage to defense, which is a lower multiplier, and then he does a horizontal range damage when you already have Odin on the team that does horizontal damage. So you can get kind of screwed over. Whereas K-Dad are guaranteed to hit 4 characters, which I think is a little bit more valuable.
I agree.
Plus, you got Odin on the team to get the benefits.
Yes. I don't know. It just shouldn't have been exclusive. Like I think it's still sick as hell. Like, it's such a cool bro. He probably has the best sprite in the game and the best attack animation. I would say
his sprite is so good.
He's so sick. His art is sick. His ink effect is sick. And
Yeah.
all those aesthetic sides of him are incredible. The character's really cool, but I don't think he's. I think you could have released him for 8.5 Annie as like an anniversary legend, but making him exclusive has really now you've placed him on a pedestal, and now you're comparing him to some some Super Sugo Fest characters and such, and he doesn't keep up. I don't think so. But his attack, at least like his captain ability, like 5.4 with with matching or with a Wano slot?
Yeah. Matching.
And then matching, and then 5.25 otherwise. 5.25 otherwise is just your base is pretty high. So
yeah, captain multiply is still really good, and then if you use him as the captain, you get that super class for an attack boost as well. Like he's still good.
Yes, but did you compare to I just don't think he's a super. He shouldn't be as exclusive as he is, especially with how they've changed the exclusivity, where it's because when waifus came out, it said Annies, half Annies, and memorable moments or memorable scenes or whatever. So the name of the New Year's Sugo Fest was memorable scenes and shit. Now it only says Annies and half Annies.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean these units will pop back up on global anniversary? Because technically that was labeled as worldwide anniversary. Will they only pop up on JP, Annie, and half Annie? Are they going to even pop up on New Year's? Like, that's the issue that you have there, right? So, I guess we'll wait and see what happens on New Year's, and especially global anniversary, see what happens there. But, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, overall thoughts? Anyone else have anything on Zoro?
Oh, I think everything's been said. He's a cool cat.
He's a cool cat, I agree. Out of 10?
8.9.
I would say like 8.9. I would say 9. I think I love him. Like, biased wise. I think he's sick. So I would say like a 9 out of 10 for me. He's not Legend of the Year, but he's still really good. So I'd say 9.
Say 8.82.
Alright, we're going down,
Okay.
alright. Flame, muted out of 10. Understandable. He's making money moves, guys, so don't stress. One thing we didn't bring back up in his special is the utility. Super sick. Percent damage reduction and threshold. Fantastic. You know, so always a benefit for that kind of stuff. Also, there was the TikTok leak that came out with that too, which I found very funny. That was an easy Twitter clout session for myself, so I love that for me. So Treasure Crew's advertising on TikTok now. That's awesome to see. Also, rare recruits of Law and Kid. Anything particular? Anything special? They're pretty good.
Killer's interesting. The fact that he works with like the bomb and the super bomb for the super evolution.
Yep, which leads us into 6+ Kid eventually. And then Law's pretty cool. Same old. I think Law gives you the chain boost. So you're meant to use Law and then blah blah blah. So, makes sense, I suppose. And then that led into TM Olin. So these units were the ones that were boosted for Treasure Map Olin. If you didn't have these units, were kind of fucked, I think it was. I don't really remember too much about that Treasure Map, to be honest with you. It kind of just has come and gone per se, but you know,
it was a weird treasure map.
Same old shit, pretty much.
It was kind of hard to play that and Pokemon at the same time.
This treasure map was fucked. First of all, they bespokely added they bespokely added a unit into the TM boosted list, which is the first time, as far as I'm aware, and Knight, you might remember or not, that they've ever added an additional unit into the treasure map list.
No, that's like the first time, I think.
Because the unit they added was a Kaida unit that removed damage immunity. Because there was only one unit that removed damage immunity, and that was K-Dad. So they added in this random ass unit that didn't even synergize with any of the units around him. But then the best part about TM is that I believe an hour and 48 minutes into Treasure Map, the game dies and it goes into a maintenance.
There was a long maintenance too, wasn't it?
It was
like
huge.
8 hours or something.
So I believe the problems that persisted were you were getting an exorbitant amount of points for what you were like farming. So I believe after the first invasion, I had like 478,000 points with 500,000 points after one invasion fight.
What the fuck?
But the issue was that although you were earning those points, you weren't earning some of the rewards, which is crazy how that happens. I don't even know how that gets messed up, to be honest with you. I think those are I don't know if there was any other. I think there might be something else. But I think the big issue was like you were earning too many points, and because you were earning those points, you weren't earning rewards.
Yep.
That was like the main
problems.
some
of the rewards are not being sent to people's boxes. So like you'd get like all the point rewards, and you couldn't max limit break the treasure map character because some of the rewards weren't given. It was dumb.
So
what the fuck?
Game went down after about 2 hours, and they did maintenance overnight. And they ended up extending the treasure map to start a day later. And it went for the same period of time and just started and ended a day later. And that meant that there was very little downtime into Kizuna, which is currently ongoing right now. Very interesting kind of situation there. Speaking of Kizuna.
How do you guys feel about that? Are you sad, glad?
It was annoying.
It was just annoying because it was an extra day. Pokemon had just come out, or Pokemon was coming out.
Yeah.
Like, it's an extra day. Like, you have to wait. And, like, it was funny because I was like, holy shit, they've fixed the point farming shit. You can actually get points now in Treasure Map. It's cool. Let's go. But in reality, it's not back to normal. So I wish that they did something with the points and increase how many points you were earning. But, I mean, it is what it is. It was just more annoying than anything. Because everyone was streaming as well. Everyone was like in calls and blah, 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 blah. And then everyone's just like, what the fuck do we... So everyone just was in the Treasure Cruise category on Twitch just playing random shit. I think like Todd and Stump and Co were playing like poker on the Discord poker and shit. And then I was playing like Pokemon Showdown and fucking all this random stuff too. So like it was, I was playing chess. Like it was like... hoping that the game would like pop back up, but then in reality it never did. So, I mean, it is what it is. All right, we are currently in Super Kizuna versus Brook. Naturally, that brings us a Brook 5+. I actually have no idea what this Brook does, mind you. So,
he's pretty decent. He's got like bind and attack down removal, adjacent slots matching. He's a pretty decent unit.
Base
honestly.
attack. After 3 perfects, more attack. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hunger in his limit break.
Yeah, free to play Hunger. He also has a GP skill for some reason.
That makes no sense.
No, not at all.
Deal 7 crit hits, targets 3 enemies with high special CT for 100% chance of special bind for 5 seconds. Interesting. Yeah, no one's using that. I'm gonna be honest with you. No one's using that.
No.
But the more interesting part is that we had two, I think what I would say is interesting units. So you have multiple interesting units, sorry. So you have the release of the Kizuna rare recruits of Luffy and Chopper, which is cool. And then also a support carrot, which is pretty sick. At the start of Battle 3, reduces character special cooldown by 2 turns, changes their slot into tandem, and reduces enemies' % damage reduction by 1 turn. And reduces crew special bind by 1 turn. So really good support unit again. Another fantastic support unit there. But the creme de la creme, 6+ V1 Kid. Zooey Mama. His art is sick, and his icon is sick. He's sick as well.
Dude, 6+ Kid is really fucking good. I just used him yesterday, like I recorded some showcase stuff, and whew, he's really good. They've also made a mistake with his kit too, by the way.
Oh, okay. What was that?
Yeah, we'll get to that when we break him down. But yeah, there is a mistake listed that does make him better.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, so nice. I'm just gonna read his level limit break stuff. Just because it's easier. I think everything is just more damage. It seems for the most part. Numbers are higher.
And then his captain gets a huge buff.
Yes. So, level limit break captain. Yeah. Boost Dex and Driven by 4.75. All others by 4.25. Boost Dex and Driven characters attack by 5.25 instead when they have a bomb or super bomb slot. Makes crews tandem slots into bomb. Greatly boosts the chance of landing on tandem slots. and makes bomb and super bomb count as matching slots. Makes bomb and super bomb deal 0 damage to crew. When this character taps with the bomb or super bomb slot, reduces all enemies' percent damage reduction by 5 turns. Holy fuck! Goddamn, what the hell?
Yeah, they popped the fuck off.
That was crazy. I've never read that. I was like, whoa.
And I will say that when it says greatly boost chances of landing on tandem slots, which are now bomb slots, he does greatly boost it. You will get tandem slots.
He does greatly do that.
It is very good.
Special level limit break. Reduces all enemies' threshold by 7 terms. Empties all strength, dex, bomb, and super bomb slots. Deals non-type damage to all enemies based on how many bomb slots were removed. So up to 3.5 mil for 6 emptied orbs. Changes empty orbs into super bomb and boosts dex-driven attack by 2.5 for 1 turn. Changes the attack multiplier of super bomb orbs by 2.25 when super bomb orbs are counted as matching.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking good.
Yeah,
so that slots in just under Wano and above matching.
Yeah,
that's
like
fucked.
The Law Korra effect.
And then
the fact that it's the fact that he gives 2.5 attack and also like slightly increases the super bomb slot multiplier, so he actually adds a lot of additional damage.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Super type 100x his attack and non-type damage to all enemies, ignoring defensive effects, and changes all slots including block into bomb and changes dex to super dex.
That's where the issue is.
Oh, okay.
His super type effect, it doesn't change them into bomb. He changes them into super bomb.
Oh!
Yeah, his super type gives you a full board of super bomb through block slots.
That's fucking... They should keep that.
Which remember that they can't be changed by the enemy. So if you can use his super type and you lock them, you just carry that through multiple stages. The enemy can't do shit about it. And then you use his special, which is the guaranteed 3.5 mil. You get the buffed super bomb slots. Like, oh my god.
Hey, hold on. Run it back.
Utility captain, utility special, damage dealing special. He's the crew's dedicated attack booster, crew's dedicated orb changer. This guy is the homie.
Hey, don't fix that. Don't fix that. Please.
Yeah, hopefully it's meant to be super bomb. I assume it's meant to be because it's programmed to be that. And it's just a text issue.
Yeah, that'd be weird if it they programmed it to super bomb, but it was wrong. That'd be a lot of effort. So I don't change that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. That's sick. He's fucking strong.
Oh, and he also completely resists slot bind with his potential ability too.
That's really nice.
Kind of juicy.
Yeah, he goes hard.
Kid's impressive. The only thing that kind of sucks with him is his support effect's pretty bad, but it is what it is.
No, it's not
just,
but same thing.
It just attaches to a dex unit. It's the same as before. If your crew slots get changed, the supported unit gets a bomb slot and makes it beneficial. It's whatever.
It would have been cool if it was because there's a I used to use all the time. There was a what's his name?
Whitey Bay.
No, not the Whitey Bay. It was strength unit. He was the guy from Dressrosa, Diamante.
Oh, Sonic.
There was a strength Diamante that changed a bunch of slots to bomb or something like that and made them matching, I think it was. Or something along those lines.
I know which Diamante you're talking about.
Yeah. If it would have been cool if Kid had done that.
Attaches to a strength unit. If you use a damage dealing special, changes recovery, tandem, and bomb into matching.
There you go, sorry, he did that. It would have been cool if Kid changed all slots into bomb slots and then made them match.
Yeah, that would have been cracked.
That would have been cooler.
That would have been so cool.
Because then it's it's balanced, because if you don't hit a perfect, you're going to take damage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it would have been cool if he'd done that.
I guess the only other issue, with Kid is the fact that his super type condition requires one of the supernova, but, there's a decent amount of units you can use, and the fact that he now boosts driven means that you can use Capone characters, stuff like that. So
Capone crew with this guy, lock the slots.
Yeah,
done. Mm-hmm. Wrap it up. Call it a day.
100%.
Wrap it up. Call it a day. He's sick. Would you say this is the best 6+ of the year?
Dude, we've had so many good 6+.
Does he beat Kuzan? Because I know for you, Kuzan has been the
I don't think Kuzan's my number one anymore.
Ooh, spicy.
I think it's probably between Ace and this guy.
Ooh.
Nice.
So
Shiki's definitely up there for me too.
So the 6 pluses we've had are
Shiki.
technically, according to the award show, Brooke Odin, Vita Doflamingo. We've had Kuzan. We've had Vita Akainu, Katakuri, Shiki, Uta, Super Type Sabo, V2 Blackbeard, Halloween Ace, Dex Kid. Nice little assortment there of characters.
Yeah, Katakuri is also pretty good.
Yeah, I love V2 Katakuri's 6 plus actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Kid's so good. If you guys have the opportunity to use his level limit break kit, it's kind of cracked.
Have you got it at 5?
Yep.
Nice. That's tight.
Mm-hmm.
He's sick. He's actually really sick.
And yeah, and his rumble stuff got a bit of a buff too.
Yes. So it's defense at level 6. So this is special. Targets team for defense at level 6. Targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 2.75 damage. And his ability is Dex allies receive defense at level 4, HP at level 7, and self defense at level 4. So lots of defense, lots of damage now.
Very bulky.
Very, very bulky indeed. Good. Sick card. Love it.
Yeah,
Not much else there.
He's a good bloke.
He's a great bloke.
Yeah, so Bandai on the continuing the trend of the amazing 6 pluses.
Massive
so shout out
dubs.
to
Massive
guys.
dubs. massive dubs.
One thing right, at least.
Yeah, so bro, actually, honest to God, they have, for the most part, they've smashed out Super Evolutions. Like, they just consistently are very good, you know what I mean? Some of them are like, yeah, but like, a lot of the time, I think the vast majority of the time, they're fucking sick, so credit where credit's due, right?
Right.
And one of the second last topics of today's episode, we've been going for a little bit here, V4 Big Mum. What? What were they thinking? What were they cooking? Insert the thumbnail here.
Makes me so pissed just thinking about this character.
V4 Big Mum, or some have said V2 Olin. This has taken me. I have no idea. I have no idea why they do this or for what reason. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Another freaking Big Mom, dude.
Mind you, another int-driven powerhouse unit as well, by the way. Another int-driven powerhouse unit.
Facts.
So, yeah. Let's delve into the unit themselves. Big Mom's captain ability reduces the... she is, int-driven powerhouse. She's super type int. Reduces the crew's special cooldown by 1 turn, boosts int-driven powerhouse characters by 5.25, HP by 1.6, makes crew's strength, int, and tandem slots count as beneficial, and reduces own cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the turn after taking damage, and she also is a super tandem, I forgot to mention. She has a 3-stage special capping out at 33 turns. Insane. Her stage 1 special is at 13 turns, and that is, I'm just going to read it and then we can talk about the numbers further on. So it reduces all enemies' HP by 10%, changes block into tandem, applies ignite and paralysis on all enemies for 3 turns, doubles damage dealt to enemies inflicted with ignite and paralysis for 3 turns, boosts int-driven powerhouse characters' base attack by 1,000 for 3 turns, and for 3 turns, heals crew for 15x her recovery for each enemy defeated with normal attacks at the end of the enemy's turn. That's at 13 turns. At 20 turns, her stage 2 is 20% HP cut, block into tandem. The ignite and paralysis are high numbers, so more damage from the ignite and more percent chance to paralyze. And that's for 3 turns still. The conditional boost is 2.25 for 3 turns. The base attack boost is 1250 for 3 turns. And the healing is 20x. And then her stage 3 special at 33 turns is 20% HP cut, all block in a tandem. The ignite and paralysis are higher again. The base attack, and the conditional is 2.25. The base attack is 1500, Heals for 20x her recovery. Heals for 20x her recovery for how many enemies you kill. And if the crew has an attack and or boost active when the special is launched, buffs the attack and or boost by 0.3. Super type condition requires Big Mom Pirates and Otama, because the Suga Fest is Otama and Olin. And the super type special is 100x her attack and non-type damage to all enemies, changes own slot to tandem, reduces top row's cooldown by 3 turns, boosts the color affinity by 2.25 for Indra and Powerhouse and into Super Imp. Her support, which I kind of think is the best part about the whole unit, is
100%.
Once per quest, if the user uses damage unit special, applies ignite to all enemies and boosts damage dealt to ignited enemies by 1.75 for 1 turn. That attaches to Big Mom Pirates and Otama. Her super tandem is at level 5. It requires 1 or more driven powerhouse characters and 1 or more of the following: so Kaido, Katakuri, Perispero, Smoothie, Cracker, or Big Mom. And then at level 5, it is a 2x tandem boost to driven powerhouse for 1 turn and reduces threshold by 2 turns. Oh no, percent damage reduction by 2 turns. Whew!
Man, Jesus, this fucking unit is so
fucking shit. I'm so pissed. Why?
I'm so mad.
Why? Why does this
they
unit get super tandem?
Mom Legends, man.
They actually do. Why is she in again? Why is her icon just flipped version of V3 Big Mom? I don't get it.
You know, it's so funny that they gave this, regular monthly legend super tandem, and then Zoro didn't get one.
Yeah, Zoro. Hey, Zoro, eat shit, bitch. Fuck you, buddy. That's literally what happened. I don't get that. I really don't. I don't know.
I don't even know where to begin with this unit. Like, the thing is, if the enemy has full immunity, this unit's essentially pointless.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know why they made it 33 fucking turns when there's characters that have way less cooldown that have better specials than
look,
what she
if you're gonna go to 33 turns, make the ignite and paralysis go through immunity. Like, just do that.
Yeah, make the conditional boost bigger too.
Make it 2 and 5 conditional and through immunity. Like, we don't care about buffing attack and all by 0.3. Like, it doesn't matter that much. Like, but I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I think only going to stage 2 is worth it, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like,
correct.
I get the whole point of like reducing your own cooldown and the keep in mind the rare recruits in this batch are Otama, Usopp, and Frankie, all reduce cooldown. Specifically, Otama reduces 4 turns of cooldown in her special, but can only be used once in the quest, so that's kind of counterintuitive as well. It's just a really weird unit.
I see Big Mom being used in weird ways. Like, I feel like you could probably hybrid her because her super type, the fact that it reduces the top row character's cooldowns by 3 turns.
Yes, that's crazy.
Like, that's kind of crazy. So if you hybrid her up with like someone else and like reduce the other character's cooldowns by 3, I feel like you could probably use that in some really cool ways.
Yep.
As a sub, she's fine again, but ugh.
Super type Blackbeard captain, friend captain.
Ah.
That's an option.
That's actually a shout, to be honest with you. That's actually a shout. Because they both take damage. They both take damage. They both reduce their cooldown. Blackbeard does like an attack and aura boost for himself. Use Big Mom's Stage 3 special, buffer by 0.3. There's a new Subconscious One Punch Man video coming out soon. You best believe it.
I want the @Rev sub. So
if you're listening to this Subconscious, you're gonna have to invoice my boy Knight real quick, send him some money.
If you're able to get it to work, that's kind of crazy. If you can get her conditional boost, buff Blackbeard's attack and orb boost, you get the super tandem as well. Like, I guess maybe there's a use case for that, but it's.
But the thing is, what content?
The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
What content?
Yeah, right.
You know, that's the like. I hate using that as like an argument of any sort. But like, it's just it's the argument, right? What content am I using this on? There's no difficult content. There's no GARP challenges. Maybe you could argue Grand Voyage, but even then, Grand Voyage is built for level limit break characters, so probably not as well. Like, there's no content to use this kind of damage output on. There's nothing there.
Maybe like a Psy Super Boss potentially.
I was gonna say you could build what Knight mentioned for Psy Super Boss and make Blackbeard do like 15 billion damage himself. But like, even then, that's pushing it a little bit. So
she's Hybrid Kaido for the win.
Yeah, Hybrid Kaido is the best unit in the game, so it doesn't matter. Everyone can shut up. Her Rumble kit is Powerhouse Allies defense attack at level 6. This is a special, sorry. Targets Powerhouse Allies for defense and attack at level 6 for 15 seconds. If the special is launched in the first 50 seconds, gives Powerhouse Allies CT up level 3 for 10 seconds. If special is launched in the last 50 seconds, targets 2 enemies with low HP for 3k fixed damage. Her ability is Powerhouse Allies speed up, HP up level 6. If own HP is above 60%, gives team attack up level 5. I mean, another cool unit for Powerhouse, I suppose. Like, I guess.
Yeah, yet again, another freaking int-driven Powerhouse unit for Rumble. Jesus.
Yeah, so, they're pulling up, as per usual.
Okay, yeah.
She has GP Leader, GP Burst, so Powerhouse Allies receive attack up, crit up level 6, defense at level 2. Dex and Yin allies receive HP at level 6, attack at level 2, and guard at level 4. And her burst is on 25 hits of damage, and it can be used 2 times. Targets 3 enemies with low HP for 3500 fixed damage. Targets Psy enemies for 80% chance of half stats for 20 seconds. And this alludes to why Todd and I were saying that this Pirate Rumble is going to be... This Grand Pirate is going to be fucked because of that alone, and also Ultra 6+.
Correct.
And
it's going to be fucked.
Again, this is probably the last regular batch legend of the year before we jump into New Year's. And they've dropped the ball. Honest to God, they've dropped the ball. So...
Well, that's a good and a bad thing, because it means
Correct.
you can just skip it.
Big skip energy. Please skip. Don't pull. We're so close to New Year's right now. We're so close. And who knows what the fuck they're going to release on New Year's. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Final thoughts?
The rare recruit Usopp is more valuable than the Big Mom.
Hold on.
I like the support.
Yeah,
the
the support is crazy.
Yeah.
Some proc conditional boost is fucked. it's
That's
fucked.
so dumb.
Usopp is special bind paralysis by 5 turns, top row 2 turns of cooldown, all other characters 1 turn of cooldown, delays for 2 turns. Holy shit. He's fucking good. I might have to do 4 multis just for Usopp, lad. Hold on, run it back.
Yeah, because there's not many characters in the game that can do special reverse and special bind in the one kit.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point. I might have to run it up.
There.
Might have
And
to
he's
run
a
it up.
shooter with barrier pen, so
That's a lot of dubs right there, I'll tell you what.
Beckman says hello.
That's about it. For that, out of
That is
10?
about it. Big Mom out of 10? Jesus.
Yeah, it's 10,000 kilograms, fat ass.
Probably 7.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
about
I'd
she's
say
like 7.
7.
I think it's solid 7 out of 10. Flame?
Disappointing.
Yep, thanks Flame. Appreciate that one, bud. And the final topic of today is new level limit breaks. I don't want to run through all of these because it's a lot of talking. But
Yeah.
we have V2 6 and 6 plus Law, V2 6 plus Ray, 6 plus Frankie, 6 plus Garb, and V1 6 and 6 and 6 plus Katakuri. Anything of note, Todd?
Frankie, my boy,
Is
getting
fucked.
those buffs.
Frankie is sick. He's sick.
I saw some people like complaining. They're like, "Oh yeah, but Frankie only gets the good buffs when he's the captain." Bruh, who the fuck is going to use Frankie as a sub these days? You're only using Frankie as a captain,
Hello,
so that you can use his captain action.
Damage Limiter says hello. Oh, Frankie says hello back. He can go through it because he's a sick cut. He's fucking cool.
Dude,
Frankie's sick.
Frankie's buffs are so good. So whenever there's content with damage limiter, he's gonna be that go-to guy.
He's
He's so
sick.
good.
He does cooldown. His captain ability is cooldown. 1 turn of cooldown, 4.75 attack, 1.5 HP, 10 of recovery beneficial, 3 turns of despair. When in general Frankie's launched, he boosts attack by 5.25 instead. 38% chance, 38% damage reduction, immune to blow away, and then gives different effects. And then his special is 30% HP cut. Ren changes all slots randomly, including block unless they're matching, and makes type slots beneficial for the crew. Boost the fighter / a striker shooter by attack by 2.5. If a character is on the top row, negates all attack, reducing orb effects for 1 turn, and reduces enemies' percent damage reduction and enemy threshold and crew's paralysis by 6 turns.
What the fuck?
He's cooked. He's
crazy.
so cooked. He's so sick. He's actually so sick. You know,
It's good that Frankie got like he pretty much was the biggest winner out of this batch of level limit breaks, and I'm glad he's like the biggest buff, honestly, because I mean he needed it, and also he's probably going to be the most usable out of the ones here. For
I will say Garp's buff is fucking sick, so they made it a chain boundary instead.
Yep.
And they gave him the final tap thing.
He does the thing.
Yeah, he does the final tap buff chain thing, so that's fucking cool. So his little combination there is sick. Chain boundary plus chain buff. And 10 turns special bind.
He basically makes any good, great, or perfect the same like
value,
chain addition. So,
which is awesome.
Yeah, when you hit good, great, perfect, you're always hitting for the value of a perfect, which is pretty sick.
Which is sick. That's about it. Rayleigh's okay. He does some stuff.
Yeah, Rayleigh didn't get much of a buff, unfortunately.
How do you feel about
one thing that
Katakuri?
Rayleigh got that's interesting, just about Rayleigh, he interestingly got a PvP buff where the HP threshold for him to get like the defensive buffs is now upgraded, so it's a lot easier to get.
If HP is 70% or below. Wow, okay.
And before his Rumble special was 45 CT, and that went down to 36, I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that got a pretty big buff.
He's fucking usable.
And like that being so defensively bulky, plus the new 6+ kid.
Yeah.
And then like add Annie Luffy on top of it. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be gross.
Okay, shut up. Alright.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk. Please, no, please. How do you feel about Slam Jam?
Mr. Slam Jam's buffs, he didn't get like the greatest buffs ever.
He didn't, unfortunately.
Interestingly, I think the strength one might be better.
That's literally what we were all in Discord when we were reading it. The strength one is now better than the int one, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kind of weird because the strength one, when you launch a special, gives an orb boost and it gives you the conditional boost on launch. And then like if the enemy's health is like 70% or below, I think it was, or 80% or below.
Yep.
Yeah, then you get the guaranteed delay through immunity on the special, so you basically can get like all of it active immediately. So that's kind of sick. Actually, you could kind of use that on like a super boss too.
Yeah, easily, 100%.
If the enemy's already cut down past that threshold, you can get the guaranteed delay conditional or boost and all that. He's kind of cool. The int one's also fine. Like they got buffs. They're all cool, but like no one's really using V1 Katakuri anymore. I kind of wish it was a bit better, but it's fine. I'll test him out.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Otherwise, law unfortunately is, I don't care. He's whatever. Some fixed damage.
There's already way too much competition with Striker and Cerebral.
Yeah, and also just for law units in general, I'd much rather be using like 1-0 law or final tap law Super Tandem law as opposed to this little Donnie here. So
on the Striker team, he could probably slide in because there's not many Striker laws, but Cerebral, way too much. I mean, at least the Cerebral law removes 2 turns of barrier, so I guess there could be some cool use cases. There will be some.
I would have liked if they had made, because he doesn't have a good support, right? His support was just like
he attaches to like core and stuff, and if they use their special, he gives an orb boost.
I thought I feel like if they're gonna do the whole idea of like removing barrier, he should have been like a barrier removal support unit. They should have upgraded.
That would have been nice.
Orb boost and barrier, put them on Koros on, like that'd been sick as hell.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for content, lads. Well done. Bit of a juicer, a bit of a long one, but you know, into everyone's favorite section. In other news, I didn't write this one down because I only just remembered it. There was the announcement of a new Ichiban Kuji collab with One Piece Treasure Cruise that advertised a hybrid Kaido, a Yamato unit, or Yamato character, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Don't know how much we can read into that, but it was Yamato in her Devil Fruit form, so maybe New Year's ? Who knows?
That's I think like that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are kind of predicting that at the moment.
Yeah.
For that to be the
Especially
New
because
Year's
it was
character.
advertised by Ichiban Kuji and it's a One Piece Treasure Cruise collab. It's not just like a One
Yeah.
Piece collab, it's a specifically OPTC collab.
Well, it is weird though because a part of the Ichiban Kuji like prizes, it's like a bunch of keychains for
Yes.
the Treasure Cruise
Yep.
like artworks.
Mm-hmm.
So is the collab just for that, or does
That's a great question as well, to be
including the
honest.
figures? Because it literally could just be the keychains and that's it.
So the way that I, like, when I posted it and saw it, it seemed like there were prizes.
Correct.
So A, B, so it seems like they're prizes, but like, what does that mean? Like, is that
So
prizes,
the way that it works
or...
is when you go there to purchase something, you get a lottery ticket, and then when you open it up, it gives you a letter, and whatever letter it is the prize you get.
Right.
And yeah, so essentially, if you get like the A prize, you get like the Kaido prize, or if you get D, you get the Zoro. If you get like a fucking what is it? It's I is the Treasure Cruise keychains.
Right.
So the higher the letter, the less common it is to get.
Right.
Because like that's the thing. That's how I won that giant Gear 4 figure at the convention I went to.
Okay.
The Ichiban Kuji stuff. Yeah. So it cost, I think it says like 800 yen per ticket or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little thing. It's a huge thing in Japan too. Like
Yeah.
it's super super popular.
So I think maybe keep an eye out for that. Like, maybe it could be New Year's. We'll see, I suppose. On top of that, Grand Voyage Bradier versus Mihawk was added. It's another Grand Voyage there for us. The November medal exchange wasn't too flash hot. It's about to end soon as well, so we're looking forward to the next one. But you have Inu Neko, so V2 Inu, V2 Neko, Perona, Halloween Perona, and Halloween Shanks. Halloween Shanks! Halloween Shanks! AKA fuck Stump.
Oh my god, this guy.
And at the 250T you have Mihawk and Cracker. 150T is Cavendish and V1 Law. And the 100 medal tiers, so they are keeping up the trend of having the rare recruits and the collab units all just persist, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added in a bunch of just Halloween TM boosters for 100 medals. So collection purposes, nothing too special. There still is, like, Odin's travel tomes are available from Top Man missions. They basically act like regular soccer books. There's 300 of those to collect by just playing quests. As I mentioned before, they have the fake dual unit Straw Hats have been added back into the game for a limited time. There are Chopper Man missions associated with them. We are now going to be receiving an extra stamina schmeat each week for the anime release, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So once a week you log in, you get a stamina meat, which is cool. And the new TM silhouette is out, and that looks to be who's who. So we'll see what they do with Jimbo, and if he does get a legend or if it's just a generic like TM rare recruit kind of thing. And that's it. From everyone's favorite section into our shout-outs. This will be the second last shout-out of the year. So as per usual, thank you guys so much for supporting us financially. And if you can't do that, then please go down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, and help us out a great deal. It's all very much appreciated. But we should give the shout-out to our members. Thank you guys so much for your continued support over the year. We do greatly appreciate it. Our GGP producers of TheLordShiro, Alex Wisniewski, and Portuguese Sosa. Our perfect member of Bryan, Kisa, and McDermott. Our great members of Cswins, Voidseaker, and MyDrunkenMoneky. And our good members of Ryoiin, Stump D, Gacha, Red Halo, Dr. E Recshin, and Wankafella. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It is an ayo kind of moment there. But from everyone's
we appreciate it.
From everyone's favorite section into the shoutouts into tonight's favorite section, it is the Q&A.
Let's go.
As usual, you can send us in your questions via Twitter at GGP Podcast or our YouTube community tab. First question comes in from Straw Hat Gooseman. He says, what would you lads say to adding older rare recruits with good supports, i.e. Taonami, Quick Ace, etc., out of the normal rare recruit pool and have them pullable only on support banners? I feel it would make the rare recruit pool better for both types of banners. Curious to what you have to say about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's a good idea. I think
Mm-hmm.
I would say
cool.
that I think that that's an awesome idea. Removing them out of removing them out of the main rare recruit pool and putting them in there would be sick. I hope that they're doing something with the rare recruits in the rare recruit pool itself because of the way they're adding rare recruits into the metal shop. Surely there's a reasoning behind adding them into the metal shop, right? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Surely.
Because it has to be, right? But no, I think it's an awesome idea. I would love for that to actually happen. Next question from @obsidian_steed_. He says, what can Bandai do to make collabs with OPTC content creators better? Want to see all of you succeed and thrive, man. Your guys really carry the community and love for the game on your shoulders. We appreciate that.
Bring back the streams and have the
I agree.
YouTubers
That's a
on
good
the
call,
stream.
actually.
I would love for the live stuff to come back.
It's a bit difficult now because like when they used to have it before, they used to have the Bandai office in LA, but because those offices were closed, now it's relocated, so now it's in Spain.
Hey, we might do a little Spain trip. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on in terms of but I'm sure they've got stream rooms in the offices, surely, right?
Send us out to
I don't know.
Barcelona.
I'm sure they can stream in Paldea.
That's what I'm saying. They can stream Paldea. Pull up. No,
yeah, I don't know.
I
agree. They should definitely do more stuff to collaborate with. I don't know about collaborations, but like just more social stuff would be cool.
From your position, what would you want them to reach out to you and because obviously we had a pretty cool collaboration of the Lesson Time series. Like, would you want more things like that, or would you want like more bespoke, like we're collaborating with Todd to do blah 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 blah? Like, what would you think would be a line of action they could take that you would want to see for yourself or for the podcast or for Twitch streaming or whatever the case may be?
I think that what they should do is have a system inbuilt where once a person is under the blanket of their content creation spectrum, that they are able to access the application like a dev build, so that they're able to play with characters early, to record some content, get a video approved, and then say, okay, video's approved, you're all good to go. And then on the day of the Sugo Fest or the day before the Sugo Fest comes out,
everything drops.
Bang, you have a video out. Yeah, something like that would be cool. Like, I understand that they want to do their own reveals for characters. I'm perfectly okay with them taking their own time to reveal the characters when they want. But when the characters are out, it would be cool if people that are under their umbrella are able to, make content with these new characters to showcase what they can do and what people should be expecting. Because sometimes when you read what a character does on paper, you think, oh, this character's really cool, or this character's not good. And then when you actually get to play with them, your opinion will change.
Yes.
So I think that it would be cool to have that kind of thing. Would be pretty cool.
I think that would be sick. I think that it's the same way that like a lot of tech YouTubers do releases, right? There's an embargo period, and then once that embargo period drops, everyone releases their videos.
Correct.
I think the way they could do it is because these days what they do is they release the tweet and stuff, and then a day later we get the in-game announcement of like the banner and stuff. So maybe you could have the embargo go to the in-game announcement so that it gives them time to release the special and what the unit does and all their social media posts, and then release it there. And then they could even collab and be like, if like the people under the umbrella's videos get a total of, I don't know, 1,000 likes or something like that, there's additional like, community incentive to jump in and like be a part of it. So I feel like that'd be really cool to push that. I think that's a really sick idea. I think
that would be cool.
Or Josh can come on the podcast. I'm I don't know, just saying. You know what I mean? You can pull up.
I mean, when I did the interview, he said he's more than happy to do stuff like that. So
I'm just saying, hey Yoshi, open invite, my guy. Pull up, have a chat with us. It might get spicy, but I think it'd be very interesting to have that kind of conversation. But no, I think that'd be a sick idea. All right, next question. At Red Halo Gaming, Mr. Red Halo, he asks, what would you like to see done to revitalize cola in OPTC? It's pretty common answer, but I think that they could probably introduce like a limit break / evolution / like additional upgrade system to ships using cola. So like, I think it's like the way that like Dragon Ball Legends I think does it, or like at least like for the units, or I think like now like the way that Seven Deadly Sins does it, where like when you get more copies you get to like 6-star, and then you get more copies and you get to like 14-star or whatever it is. They could maybe do that with cola for ships, where it's like it has now an additional like set of like 10 upgrades, and then the next max level it's like, you know, the whale ship, instead of being a 1.6x, it goes up to like a 1.85 or something like that, you know, and give some massive. But then the cola requirements is like to do like the final upgrades, it requires you to use like 750 cola or some shit. So like, you know, now there's a different level of like using cola and upgrading your ships and stuff. That's what I would say would be probably the best or quickest solution to do for cola.
I just want some vanilla cola, bro.
Oh, okay. You just want some cola? You want some...
I love vanilla Coke. That's my favorite.
All right, that's great. What kind of Coke do you like? What is everyone's favorite kind of Coca-Cola flavor?
I mean, surely just OGs would be most people's.
I
favorites,
had lemon cola the other day,
Yeah.
like lemon flavored Coca-Cola.
Ooh.
It was like lemon flavored Pepsi, so same difference. And it
Right,
was
yeah.
shit. It was not good. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. It had this weird like little tinge to it, and I was like, ew, yucky. I don't like that.
It's not what you expect from when you drink like cola. Yeah,
Correct.
I'm
What do
soda
you
free.
think? There you go.
yeah. What's Flame saying?
No, I said I'm soda free.
Good man.
Oh,
Respectable.
Yeah.
Health is wealth. Health is wealth. What do you think about cola? What could they do to revitalize its use?
They could do like a cola boosto. So use
Yeah,
like
Cola,
a
Cola
couple.
Boosto. That's that TM trademark the name. Cola Boosto. Here we go. What is it going to
So
be
when
about?
you do the cola boosto, you
Yep.
get to select if you want to use 1 to 5 cola out of like
Okay.
your inventory.
Yep.
And then for like quests where you're not like allowed to like do like dupes and stuff, you're able to like dupe materials based on like how many colas that you
Ooh.
use.
Interesting idea. You could also like twist that into like Cola Boosto, and if you use 5 cola, you get an additional buff to the ship for that quest or that run. Or like maybe even for like point farming quests, like you just pump cola into your ship, and then like the amount of damage you do is more, the amount of drops you dupe is higher, but every time you do a quest, you reduce your cola by 1. So it only lasts for a certain amount of time.
I have an idea.
Here we go.
So once per quest, you can launch a coup de burst, and before you like, so in the ship menu, when you're like selecting a ship, or like there's a new menu that allows you to pick a certain skill. Like one could be an attack multiplier increase, one could be cooldown reduction, a debuff removal, something like that, and you could potentially level up each of those skills. But then you only select one of those skills, and then in the middle of the quest, you can use a coup de burst, which consumes some cola to get a buff for your ship for a certain amount of time. So potentially could be like adds, you know, like it adds an extra multiplier, or like gives the crew like a 1,000 or 2,000 base attack boost for 1 turn, or you know, reduces the crew's cooldown by 2 turns or something. But you can only use it like once per quest, and it consumes cola in order to launch the coup de burst.
Yeah,
something like that would be cool.
Because they have the infrastructure to do specials on the ship. Because we had ship specials like in the past, so I feel like they could just reuse those assets and style of things, and then do that. So. There you go, free ideas, Bando.
I got one too.
Here we go. And number 4.
So we pulling up the treasure map, right?
Yep, pulling up.
You have the option to do coup de burst once per treasure map.
Yep.
And depending on how much cola you load into the ship, you're allowed to jump to a particular spot, depending on how much cola you input.
I'm losing all my rate points on cola.
Bro, that's such a sick. Do you mean like in the map you get to jump to like?
Yes.
Just to skip the map. Bro, that is actually such a sick idea. I'm down. You know, because I thought you could do maybe if you could also maybe even make expedition mode better, pump cola into expedition mode, and now when you pop the expedition mode, you get more points out of it.
Yeah.
Now we working. Now we brainstorming.
And then on top of that, what you could do is, let's say you could drop like 1,000 cola or some shit and skip a nav level or 2. I don't know.
Ooh.
Now we're flying.
Ooh.
I love that idea. I love that idea of like using cola
That's
and then just
pretty cool.
jumping to the end of the map. That's fucking sick, actually. There you go. You got a TM upgrade. You got a duplication system. You got a specialty of ships. Well, that's free content, Bandai. Take it, please. It's right there for you. Sign us up. No, great ideas, lads. As per usual, GGP coming in clutch. No worries. Next question from Hey, I'm Miss Zero. They ask, OPTC has one single chance left to redeem themselves, and it's with the release of the new very awaited character. If you were in their shoes, what changes would you instantly implement? And realistically, what do you think they will implement? Do you think that this game has a chance to come back to its golden years, or is it dying? I think the question is, OPTC has a chance to release one character to redeem the game. What do they do? I think that's the question.
Immediately disagree with the sentiment of that question. I don't think
Correct.
it's a unit problem. It's a content problem.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think there's a problem with the units that they release. Like obviously, yeah, there's good units and bad units. That's always going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a matter of the actual content that we play. That's the thing that people are the most mad at right now. So even if they release this long-awaited unit, and even if it's not the best unit in the game, like I don't think it really changes much because it comes down to like what the content of the game is, honestly. And the game is not dying, considering especially after New Year's. Let's see what happens after New Year's in terms of revenue for the game.
Yeah,
that's going to be an interesting marker to see where it is now compared to where it was during anniversary, etc.
Yep. I think nothing else needs to be said. I think it's 100% right.
Yep.
Next question. Great answer. Next question, second last question for today comes from Wankafella. He says, hey guys, great podcast again. So to set the record straight, I know it sounds far-fetched when I tell you guys that I was doing multis while my wife was in labor, or that my son's name is Maverick Obi-Wan, but it's 100% true. Her labor was 30 hours, so it wasn't like I was pulling while she was pushing, and that's crazy. Hold on. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy. So it wasn't like I was pulling while she was pushing. She lost a bet to me, so I got to choose our son's middle name. And since my last name is One, it was a no-brainer. By the way, I sent proof to Todd, and I think we talked about that last episode.
We saw that, yeah.
In the meantime, while I spend his future school tuition on this podcast and buying rainbow gens, oh dear. I found out that I can earn Google Play credits by taking surveys on the Google Play survey app and use those credits to buy more gems. It's essentially free gems. Are there any life hacks you guys have come across? Thanks again for another great podcast, and hopefully we can hear more Carissa on the podcast in the future. Thank you for that. I don't think I've probably talked about it in the past, but yeah, there is a Google Play survey app that like every so often you just get sent a survey, complete it, and then you get Google Play credits. And they just add up as like money.
Chris actually does that a lot.
I do it all the time as well.
Do it. Yeah,
so I do it all the time. I always like you only ever build up to like $1, $2 or whatever. But I mean, it buys a 10 gem pack. It's a free 10 gem pack whenever you get to do it. So I was like, yeah, it's actually really sick. Any life hacks you guys have come across? Any particular
That's a
things?
hard one.
Do I have any life hacks?
Life hacks?
Yeah.
I do.
What do you go for it?
So for a lot of sticky situations, Ayo.
Hey, hold on.
Yo, bro, come on. Tushy is the right answer.
This fucking guy.
Anyway, a very useful life hack that I have to help me solve a lot of things is a butter knife. A butter knife like solves like a lot of like very house like issues. Like I take down like stuff from my wall with a butter knife. I like open a lot of shit with a butter knife.
And
I've actually
slice someone's throat with a butter knife. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, butter
that'd be
knives
annoying.
is a very useful utility. So, in doubt, use the butter knife.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always have a butter knife on hand. Knight, what do you have? You have any life hacks?
I don't have an actual life hack, but I was talking to a friend like a couple months ago, and he got an ad on Google, and it was like, check out this life app. No, it wasn't on Google, it was on YouTube, and it was
Right.
putting Kool-Aid in the toilet bowl. I don't know what the
What the fuck?
For what?
Yeah,
That shit getting real tropical.
Okay.
Your shit getting real tropical. That's funny.
It's like, all right.
Why are you
sure.
putting Kool-Aid
Why
in the
not?
toilet bowl?
I don't know.
You're
I
sipping out.
guess it's supposed to
It's a punch bowl now. You make some punch.
smell
put it in
better.
the-
Yeah,
Smell better.
I don't know, but I just thought of that. It's like, yeah.
That's mad. I hate that. I hate that. Todd, you got anything?
I can't really think of anything off
Yeah,
the
neither
top of
can
my
I.
head at the moment. That's a really hard one to. I wish I saw the question earlier because then I would have tried to think of something.
That's all right.
I'll report. I'll try and report back next week or next
Done.
episode. Whenever.
So keep in mind, always have a butter knife and put Kool-Aid in your toilet bowl. That's GGP's life hacks, you know?
That's how you win.
That's how you win at life. And on to the final question, as usual, from Cody, Cswins. Hey guys, as always, thank you for the work that you do. And for Todd and Papi, is Australian Thanksgiving in November as well? I realize a Google search would answer this for me, but I'd rather ask. What does Thanksgiving celebrate anyway? I don't even know what to celebrate.
It's supposed
giving
to
thanks?
celebrate. Yeah, like the pilgrims and like Native
Right.
Americans like came together and helped each other, but that didn't necessarily happen that way in history. It was a bit
we're
more
meant to-
impressive.
That's
But-
technically meant to be our Australia Day, but even that's in hot contention right now because, you know,
Yeah,
it doesn't really count as Australia Day because the Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders that were on this land beforehand, you know, have been here
Right.
for a
Yeah,
very
the
long
white
time in
people-
comparison.
White
You know,
people killing people and being
White
assholes
Donnies
and
pulling
shit.
up. Hate that. So no, we don't really have an Australian Thanksgiving. With Thanksgiving coming up in the US, let's play a food-related version of Smash or Pass. Here we go. Mashed sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. What the fuck?
smashing.
That's candy yams.
That
That
sounds,
sounds
disgusting.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's amazing.
That's
No, it's
I
like
just-
sweet potato pie. No, it's
I-
amazing.
I
I
literally
don't even
just
like.
had it.
I don't even like sweet potato pie. I've never even had a sweet potato pie in my life.
I
No,
think
you
it's
need
weirdo.
to. You gotta put marshmallows on it. No, it goes
That's-
crazy, bro.
Yeah, that shit goes.
Crazy.
That goes brazy.
I love how both you guys. I love how both Todd and I were like, "Ew, what the fuck is that?" And then both of you guys were like, "Yo, that fucking shit crazy, dog." You fucking idiot. All right, green bean casserole.
Nope. Pass.
Smash it.
Carissa makes green bean casserole. She says it's really good, but I
A
don't
mean
know about
green bean casserole.
that.
You say
Yes,
that.
sir.
Roasted,
It sounds weird.
roasted Brussels sprouts.
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
sounds okay. Yeah,
Put some like honey glaze, some chili
Smash.
on them. That might go crazy.
that sounds not bad.
Boxed mashed potatoes. Boxed.
That
Mash it
sounds
yourself.
good. I don't know what it is though.
I think it's just like a packet mashed potato. Like get to, I don't know, make some mashed potatoes yourself, man. That's wild. Hate that. He said pass, smash, smash, pass. So he passed on the mashed sweet potato with marshmallows on top. Knight, how do you feel about your boy Cody passing on that?
He's not my boy no more.
Oh my lord.
Nah.
That's
Okay,
that
I'll switch up
no
like
really say that. That's canon now. That's canon now. And some other either ors. So apple or pumpkin pie.
Apple.
I'll probably say
Apple.
apple if I had to pick from them. Turkey or ham.
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 Ham as well. Cornbread or biscuits.
Biscuits.
if it's the sweet cornbread, then the sweet cornbread. That shit goes crazy.
I'm indifferent. I can't really. I don't know that one.
We don't have that in Australia,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. When we say biscuits for me, I'm thinking about a cookie. I'm thinking about eating a cookie.
Yeah. Bullshit.
It's like a scone.
Yeah, scone. I'm not putting nothing on my scone. I'm putting jam and butter. Chunky or smooth gravy?
As long as it tastes good. I love either of them.
What's chunky gravy? Like, what would you put in chunky gravy?
I guess it'd be like potatoes or some shit like that.
Give me some smooth gravy. Give me smooth. Like my brain, I like my gravy smooth.
Yes, sir.
Corns or peas? Or corn or peas, sorry.
Corn,
yeah.
I'm
I
peas.
think both.
Hey, put them both together.
I'm actually not the biggest fan of corn. I don't like corn that much. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Is that why you're so corny? Ha 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 ha.
Anyway, thanks as always for the work.
This guy.
Thanks as always for the work, fellas. I believe based on last ep, I'll be enjoying my Christmas work party during the live stream on the 10th, but I will be sure to get some questions over to you. Ultrasound went excellently. We saw everything we were hoping to. Should know if we're having a boy or girl after Christmas. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Much love as always. Your boy Cody in Canada. Thank you, Cody. Before we wrap up, I do want to put out an announcement at the end of today's episode, which I probably should have said at the very start. The award show will be happening next episode. We will be having the award show. It will be live stream event, and we will be undertaking the privilege of going through OPTC in 2022. There will be 32 categories to vote on. Votes will be coming out over the next coming days after this episode releases. As a matter of fact, this episode will release and the award show will be released 2 days. The awards to vote on, will be released 2 days after the release of this episode. So look forward to that. And, make sure you follow us on all socials to find out when things are happening. With that being said, we are done with today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment your favorite moment. What is the word for today? We're bringing this back. If you made it this far, what are they going to comment?
Green beans.
Green beans down below in the description if you made it this far. Go down, while you're down there, go in the description. You can find our link tree. That's linktr.ee/cricketperfect. You can find all of our social media platforms there. Twitter, @GGP Podcast. You can find us on anchor.fm/cricketperfect, where you can find us on the big listening platforms of Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. All of our links down in the description below. You can find all of our Twitters, Twitches, YouTubes, and all that kind of fun stuff. So make sure you go follow us all in those areas. In those areas there. And if you are confused about Flame, he has a new Twitter account, so make sure you go down there and hit that follow button on him as well. And that's done. This is the final podcast ep of the year, and we'll see you guys next week with the OPTC Award Show 2022. With that being said, I've been Captain Papi, Flame, Knight, and Todd. Thank you for listening to our episode. See you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.